Hello, welcome back to our channel again. Today we are going to learn about dependency injection in Jetpack Compose. So you might be wondering how we can use dependency injection frameworks as we were using it in our previous projects where we were using XML and Java code or Kotlin code for logic separately. So dependency injection is basically a design pattern that allow the creation and provision of dependency outside the classes that use them. Basically, dependency injection in Android is used for separation of concerns, like in which class. Let us suppose we want to use some kind of dependency, but we do not want to specify all the provisions inside the different classes where we are using them. Let us suppose we want some kind of dependency and we are defining it in each and every class where we need them. So instead of defining them in each and every class, we make some design pattern by using the dependency injection frameworks or libraries. So these provisions are provided in DI frameworks. One of such example is Dagger Hilt in Android, which simplifies Android by providing an easy to use library for injecting dependencies. So in Jetpack Compose, we design the UI components by using the Kotlin programming language only, and we make composables. So how we can use dependency injection in our Jetpack Compose? While we are using Jetpack Compose, how we can use the same DI framework for making our work easier? You can integrate Dagger Hilt seamlessly to manage dependency across your application. So let us see how we can integrate Dagger Hilt dependency injection design pattern and make our work easier, and we can define all the dependency outside the usage class where we actually want to use the properties of the dependencies, and we also do not want to define all those dependency classes inside our the usage class. So what are the key concepts of Dagger Hilt? The main key concepts of Dagger Hilt are specified. First one is modules. So whenever we are using Dagger Hilt, we use some kind of annotations in Android with Jetpack Compose. First one is @module, as we were using it in Kotlin project where we use normal XML. This is the similar case when we use it in Dagger Hilt. So we have to always use @module, @installing, these two annotations for defining our modules. And these are the main classes which provide dependency. So let me show you some code for using the dependency injection in Android with Jetpack Compose. First of all, you have to add these three dependencies. So I am creating a project. I am creating a Jetpack Compose project, Dagger Hilt Jetpack. I am naming it as Dagger Hilt Jetpack, and I have created the project. So let us wait for some time so that our project, Jetpack Compose Android project, gets loaded. So I am adding the necessary dependencies required for integrating Dagger Hilt framework with our Jetpack Compose. So I will use both simultaneously. So I want to show you how we can use the dependency injection framework Dagger Hilt in our Android project while using the Jetpack Compose at the same time. So once our project get loaded, we have to find the build.gradle file inside our application and go to build.gradle.kts inside the application folder and just add these three dependencies. Keep in mind you have to add these three dependencies. First one is for Dagger Hilt only. Second one is for the KAPT Dagger Hilt compiler, and third one is for Dagger Hilt and Navigation Compose. So all three are mandatory for this functionality. So as you can see in our main activity.kt, we get some boilerplate code, some boilerplate, some predefined composables here because it is a Jetpack Compose project. So we may see some kind of predefined code here. We can remove this. After that, we have to add this correct error type code snippet in our project. So I'm going to our build.gradle. Let me just ask, we have to add this. So we just have to add it inside our Android tag. So inside our Android tag we can add it in our app level build.gradle. So before adding this, we have added just below the compile options. You have to add one more thing, one more plugin here. So inside the plugin you have to add this KAPT plugin ID, Kotlin KAPT. Then only you would be able to add this, otherwise it will show error. So after doing this, continue the process. Our third step is to add very main class in your project at the root directory of your Kotlin code. So copy this code and define an application class. Go to src, go to main, go to Java. Inside Java, just inside this package com.example.dagger hilt package jetpack, your package name could be different. Just inside this, not inside the UI.theme, just inside your package name, add a Kotlin class as application, only the application, and add this code here. Okay, so this is your application class. And this is giving some kind of error. You have to import the necessary dependencies. Okay, so class name is my app. You have to rename this class. I'm naming this class as my app. After this, your application class is defined properly. After this, you have to create a dependency or this is the main dependency which you are going to access inside your usage classes where you want to use your dependencies. So these are the dependency which you will access in your destination classes. So for creating the dependencies, you have to use two annotation in your dependency classes. First one is module @module annotation, and another one is @installin. And installin defines for how much type of usage you are going to do. So in this case, we are doing it singleton component, and object app module. So we are using provides singleton annotation. So if you want to know about these all kind of annotations, you can watch our dependency injection in Kotlin in our previous tutorial series. You will get detailed information about all the annotation in Dagger Hilt. In this case, I am doing specifically for Jetpack Compose, so I am not explaining this much in detail. So after that, we are defining one repository, a method named as provide repository, in which repository name is my repository, and I am returning some method. After this, I am annotating my composables and injecting dependencies in my composables. So before that, before taking data directly from repositories, I am using some kind of MVVM pattern which automatically get created when we use Dagger framework. So just for accessing data from repository, I have to use some view model. We cannot directly get data from repository to our view of the composables. We have to define a view model in between them. So I have annotated my view model with @hilt view model, because it is mandatory in Hilt while we are using Hilt to use the annotation of view model before defining the view model class. So I have defined a class named as my view model and injecting the constructor, injecting the repository inside the view model so that my repository is usable inside the view model. All the things defined in the repositories are accessible inside the view model, and all data is injected inside the view model now. And now my class is of view model type, and I am accessing data from state flow, and I am receiving a list from the repository named as get items. Now we are coming to the UI of the view. In view, we have defined a composable. So because we are doing the dependency injection in Android with Jetpack Compose, so we have to define here design in a descriptive manner in our Kotlin programming language. So I have defined a composable. Without using at the rate composable annotation, we cannot define any composable. So I am doing the same, and my composable method name is myScreen, and which is fetching data from view model, which has already got data from the dependency injection done previously. I have just explained this to you. So I have created a variable of view model, object of view model, and here also I have initialized it with Hilt view model. After that, I have created a variable of items and fetching data from view model object by using the collection as state. What it will do, collection as state will get the updated data as the data will receive, and then there will be some changes in state, and which will be updated to the UI. Whenever there will be any updated data that will come from repository to view model, then there will be some kind of state change in state, which will be observed here. So it works like some kind of observer, and here we are using lazy column, which again works like a recycler view. As recycler view works in our XML conventional type of XML design UI designing approaches. In Jetpack Compose, lazy column works like recycler view, and it loads only the necessary items as per the screen size and the interaction done by the user. So let us suppose we have to display 100 items, and we are having 100 items from the API. We are getting 100 items from the API, and we can only see 10 items on the screen at the same at a single time. So just after this, when as long as we will scroll the items on the screen, only the required items will be loaded from and the resources will be saved, and it is we can say most optimized type of displaying data with huge data sets on the mobile screens till date. It works similar to recycler view. So what lazy column doing here is, it is whatever data we are getting by observer from the view model in form of a list, and whose name is variable name is items. It is rendering into the some kind of text in dynamic manner. So let us suppose we are getting any kind of item name, so it will print as item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4 till the length of the data present in the list. Or by this way, our dependency injection works in the Android with Jetpack Compose and dependency injection framework, which is Hilt, Dagger Hilt. And also Dagger Hilt and Jetpack Compose works seamlessly with our nav host, whose work is basically to navigate between the screens and transferring data, some kind of data and arguments between the screens. So nav host, I have previously explained the navigation in Jetpack Compose In my previous video you can check out about the navigation in Jetpack Compose. So I have explained that nav host is basically the container for the whole navigation system, and nav controller is a key component, and destination is also a key component. In destination we can use some kind of text for identifying the uh, destination composable, but we have to define the composable in detail in descriptive manner inside it. So here you can see main text is used for defining some kind of composable, but main is used for defining the main screen, which is having some view model parameter in carrying inside it, injected inside it, which is done using the Dagger Hilt dependency framework. And according to this we have to use Hilt view model constructor here. So what is the benefits of in Jetpack Compose and using DI framework Dagger Hilt here? So first of all, it is having centralized dependency management. All the dependencies are defined in modules. So modules are the basic center point where we define all the dependencies and all the dependencies. What dependency mean? Dependency means that if we are fetching data, so data is our dependency to get data, to supply data to all the parts where it is required in the application. So which is very crucial to supply data efficiently without defining the dependency everywhere. We have to centralize the dependency, and we do this in Jetpack Compose dependency Dagger Hilt by using Dagger Hilt framework. And how we define a dependency in Dagger Hilt? We define the dependency in Dagger Hilt by using the inside the modules classes, and in module classes we use these kinds of annotations like @module and install in type, which is singleton here. If you want a detailed explanation of singletons and what are how to define modules, you can put comments in the comment section. I will definitely explain. And here you can see that my repository is fetching data from this method, and it is returning data fetched by this method, my repository implementation. Here the detailed implementation is not done here. Other advantage is view model integration. So whenever we use Dagger Hilt pattern in our Android Jetpack Compose project, it automatically design project in such a way that it eliminates the boilerplate code for view model factories, and also it forces us to design the project in MVVM pattern, similar pattern similar to MVVM pattern, which makes separation of concerns in our code base and makes the code more readable and cleaner. Also it promotes navigation, so seamless navigation can be clearly seen in our project. And scoped dependencies, lifecycle aware dependency prevent memory leaks. So we have scoped dependencies, everything is scoped whenever we design the project using the Dagger Hilt. Then it is also lifecycle aware, and there is very less chances of any kind of crashes and memory leaks in the application. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubt while using Jetpack Compose with the dependency injection framework like Dagger Hilt, you can comment down below in the comment section. I will definitely help. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe our channel. Bye.